had a few things that we did not get to on Tuesday that I thought would be a lot of fun, man. A couple first half accolades.
Yeah.
For the season. All right. And so let's get this started. Between you and me and you, Mike. All right. Biggest surprise this year. Who's the biggest surprise this year on the NASCAR circuit?
Biggest surprise in a good way or bad way? My biggest surprise actually is Chase Elliott. The moment him getting suspended was the big surprise.
I think it's a whole season as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? The injury.
Yeah.
How everything's went for him, I think for sure is probably seated at the top of biggest surprises.
Yeah, that would be mine for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know that is there a driver that's out there that's like sort of surprised us in terms of performance?
I mean, to be honest with you, for me, everybody else has been beating the William Byron drum. I wasn't there yet, but he is absolutely fulfilling all of those expectations that people had. I knew William Byron was good, but like he's had a heck of a year, right? Yeah. And
he's had a good year. He's finally coming into that, winning a lot of races, being competitive. He was this guy that just was top 10ing us to death.
Right.
Very consistent, very good racecraft, but the wins weren't coming, and now that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's still a lot of things to be determined. But anyways, biggest disappointment, I think. Is Trackhouse maybe your biggest disappointment?
I have Ross Chastain as mine. He's not won a race. He was like right there. I mean, he's been leading the points. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I think that, look, disappointment may be too harsh of a word in this case, but, like, Ross Chastain being in the narrative every week still hasn't won.
Yeah.
That would be one.
Yeah, there's a couple things that would be disappointments or surprises for me. I think one of them would be, I really I really thought Trackhouse, I don't know if we set too high expectations for Trackhouse after last year, but and they still have speed. There's weeks when they're good, I mean, Ross had a chance to win at Darlington, but since then it's kind of been this interesting predicament that he's been in since he's been, sort of needing to clean it up a little bit or whatever. But anyways, biggest disappointment for me, it's hard to say, is Trackhouse. Like you said, I think that's too strong a word for Trackhouse.
I have an honorable mention.
Who?
Just if you take it, in kind of a week-by-week basis, I was really, really, really hoping Corey LaJoie would have had a better showing in that Hendrick car. Yeah. And yes, that was disappointing that he didn't.
Yeah. I think another disappointment might be up to this point, Alex Bowman. I mean, he gets the injury and has to set out a few races, but a new crew chief and probably a bit of an excitement early in the season about what they might be able to do. And I think there's success there, and it's to come. And maybe there's some patience to be had on my part for the 48 car, but I'm sure that they're hoping that things are going to improve, right? They're hoping that because it's other parts of that organization have had a good year. Byron's been successful. Larson's had some good speed and won some races.
Now, if we're talking just about drivers, then these answers suffice. I would say nothing is more disappointing to me than the way the car races, and I don't want to go harp on that.
At particular
racetracks, short tracks in particular.
Let me ask you this. Your boldest prediction of the second half. What is a bold prediction that you're willing to make?
What is a bold prediction? I got to think about this one for just a second here. This isn't a bold prediction, so I shouldn't even say it. But the fact of the matter is, like, Logano is another one that hasn't had this spectacular year. But he's going to be there at the end, and he might even be contending for a championship at the end. I know that's not a bold prediction, but I'm saying is that they also could be somewhat disappointing, right? Like, Logano's not really in the mix of all these races.
Somewhat. He kind of had the same year last year.
I know, and then he ends up winning it. Yeah. But that's not a bold prediction. What would be a bold prediction?
My bold prediction, I've got a few. So
go.
My bold prediction is that Ryan Blaney has a incredible second half and emerges as a championship favorite.
Okay. Wow, that is bold.
Also, a bold prediction, Chase Elliott doesn't win a race and point his way into the championship playoffs.
That's
It's
bold.
possible.
No, of course it's possible. Yeah.
Or a bold prediction might be that he does make it. But I think also I got this weird feeling, man, that Trackhouse is going to find themselves, and particularly Ross Chastain is going to be in the mix or play a massive role in the playoffs. I'm not ready to assume that their season is going to be as is, status quo for the rest of the year. So, with that said, do you have anybody? Can you give me your championship 4?
Well, I'm looking at these notes. So I guess we've already made a prediction, and he's looking.
Stop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't look. Don't look at your prediction. All right.
Already did.
You did. Okay. Do you have your championship 4? Give me 4.
I'll give you 4. Let's go Denny Hamlin.
Yep.
William Byron.
Yep.
I'll go with Martin Truex.
Okay.
And I will go with. I'm not going to go with Chase. I will go with Chase.
Yeah.
I say he does get in.
Okay. I'm going to go Truex, Denny, Byron, Blaney.
Wait, you went too fast.
Truex, Denny, Byron, Blaney. All right, I gave a prediction on this show, episode 409, February 7th, of Byron, Blaney, Hamlin, Bell, Truex. Blaney, Hamlin, Bell, Truex. That was my prediction in February. I am changing it to Blaney, Truex, Denny, and Byron. Bell is out. Byron is in. My champion is Ryan Blaney. I still feel good about that choice.
Wow, that's still bold, though. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm still feeling good about it.
So I said on episode 409 on February 7th, Alex, I said Denny Hamlin's my champion.
Yeah, you didn't do anybody else.
I just said who my champion is. And that's probably because he had just signed a podcast deal with us.
That was exactly your reasoning, actually. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sticking with it.